Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get notifications from when we go live, tap the bell. It's our first day back after the weekend. Welcome. If you're not yet part of our free option trading group, the link is below along with our Discord. So welcome everybody. Glad that you're here. If you're here right now, say what up. We got, who do we have in here? We got FC, we have Billy, Jeff, Whittick, Ray Lee, JDM, what up, man? Jordan, Callum, down 54 on Spy, Ryan, Lane, Aisha, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And part of me, I'm looking a little rough. I was just outside snow blowing this blizzard before it drops to -60. So, Elvis, what's going on? What up? What up? Glad everyone is here. Got the Cubs hat. Yeah, we're rocking the Cubs hat again. Anyone else in on CGC? Callum, I was in a CGC last week. This week, not yet. Hey, Marine, how you doing? Nice to see you again. If it's your first time here, say what up. Want to say hello to the UVH fam? Say what up. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, so CGC. You know, obviously it's been pretty crazy. Above 50, high at 59.25. So it's got room. Jimbo, what's going on? North Carolina. Carmine, welcome back. William. Man, there's a lot of people in here today. Frank, Kyle, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, the one thing I want to say for people that are beginner traders, new traders, you know, definitely feel free to come forward, ask questions. No one's going to call you stupid or dumb or anything like that. We've all been where you are. And I know that there's a lot of experienced traders in here. There's a lot of like intermediate traders, and there's a lot of beginner traders. So, you know, don't hold back. You know, we're definitely going to be taking questions today, concerns. As you guys know, last week I came off a losing week last week, so I've been going pretty slow. One thing I do want to say, I did end up being green today. Not by much though. We're up $42 across the board, but hey, it's better than red, so we're up about, you know, let's see, 160-ish today. Not bad. I didn't close out any trades today. Amy, what's going on? I did put on one trade. I averaged down my PCG position. I bought another put, PCG. We'll be talking about earnings here in a second. PCG, my current short. Pretty crazy today on PCG. My new average right now for PCG is 89 cents. I bought the first one for $1.09. I bought another one today for 70 cents, and it's kind of weird. So this morning I didn't really hold. I only held PCG and Tesla over the weekend. You know, sold off into close, and then we gapped down to like 10.50. I was actually up about 20-30%. But they're getting a $4 billion. They're getting a $4 billion injection. Possibly, obviously, that's what they're trying to go for. Obviously, nothing set in stone. I'm not trying to get too caught up in the politics or what that all of that is. But you know, the price action was actually halted like 2 or 3 times today. It went from 10.50 up to 14, back down to like 12, closed at 12.01. So, you know, I'm still comfortable. I'm still comfortable holding puts on it. Just lost money on Ask after hours. T5, what's going on? Lane, yeah. So I had the 11 strike. You know, we were in the money this morning. It just ripped up so quick right at the open there. Just insane. And then Tesla. So Tesla's very strange. So Tesla, like, it closed down $66 today. I mean, wow, I'm totally messed it up. It closed down 66 cents today. It closed red today, and yet I'm up on the position 30. I accidentally bought these instead of buying them on this account. I accidentally bought them on the wrong account. So 52 plus 30. I'm up $80 on that today, even though I'm down $30 on the overall position since I put it on. One thing that I want to take a look at on Tesla is kind of that pricing. Tesla has earnings on Wednesday after close. We're going to be going over earnings here. But to kind of show you the price action, very interesting. So we closed down. We're getting closer to earnings, yet these calls increase. So I have the 375s, I have the 385s as well, for those that want to know. So these are the 375 calls today, and this is why we were down. So this morning I was down on the position like 150, and now I'm only down $30 on the overall position, which is pretty crazy. You know, these went from, the price, we had a lot of whipsaw action today on Tesla. The ups and downs were pretty crazy. He hit 287, went to 297, back down to like 290 now. It's trending up. We're making some lower highs here. But despite being basically break even on the day, these calls went from 24 cents to 70 cents. So if you were, for those that were saying like, hey, can you make money on out of the money options? Can you do this? And the thing is, yes, you can make money on out of the money options. The reason why we're making money is because earnings is coming up. Theta is not going to really chomp this until after the event is over with, and with the IV crush in IV. What is Tesla's IV here today? Tesla's only at 43.9 overall IV. So I'm thinking that it increased. We could check to see what the IV was today. Yeah, so if you're looking down here I'm measuring implied volatility. Implied volatility got a little bit of a spike. So as you guys know, like last week and the week before that, you can see implied volatility coming down. And I would say the last 2 weeks for option buyers, our positions were just getting chomped. Like, even when things were going our way, like as being an option buyer, things were just getting faded really quick, like intraday, like not even like holding overnight or anything, like intraday things are getting chopped. But now, as you guys can see here, even though the price is still the same, we're getting closer to the event, which would say, hey, why isn't the option pricing going down, even though we're getting closer to expiration, which you think, right? But also implied volatility is, as you can see, is inflating down here, very small, but it's coming up. No, Clint B, today was inflation Monday. There was no theta Monday. IV implied volatility expanded today, probably mostly down to the down move, and also, despite the market being down as it is, Tesla held on pretty good, and the chart's not looking too bad down here. If we can get above like 300 tomorrow, hopefully we can get to like 310, 315 before Wednesday, or like let's say we can. I mean, it could, once it starts running, as you guys know, once it starts running, Tesla it runs pretty well. So I don't know if this is going to run up into earnings. So this trade that I did was a pre-earnings trade. I have no intention of holding this on through earnings. This is a pre-earnings trade, and I'm taking advantage of out of the money options and selling them. It worked pretty well on Netflix a couple weeks ago when we had that, and I usually trade, for those that want to know, I usually trade pre-earnings and after earnings. I don't usually trade through earnings just because it's unknown. I'd rather trade before the unknown, and then when the report comes out, trade the report or whatever the price action is. Gildo, what's going on? Clint, what up? Today was a rough day. Straight Slaughterhouse made $2. Hey, T5, I would say if you made $2, you did better than most people. Like, people lose thousands of dollars a day, and you're up too. So it's not so bad. You can't make, people's expectation of the market. You can't make money every day in the market. It's not possible. I don't care if you're the best trader in the world. You're the Michael Jordan of trading. You're gonna have a red day. Michael Jordan lost games too. So LeBron loses games. He loses championships, actually. I'm not going to go there. All right, anyways. One thing that I want to say before we get into the earnings, just today we reached 5,000 subscribers. I want to thank everybody that is here, everybody that's going to watch this later, or anybody that watches this at all. Thank you so much, Meg. I can't believe in such a short amount of time that we've hit 5,000 subscribers. I mean, it's very small in the big scheme of things, and in terms of YouTube as like other channels, and maybe even other trading channels. I don't really know, but we're very small. But you guys are what make me want to live stream and do this. Like, without you guys interacting with me and wanting to trade with me, I would probably just trade, on my own. But you guys make it a lot more fun. I definitely love talking about the market with you guys. I have a great time on Facebook and Discord, and also, interacting with the chat here. I mean, I mean, you guys are holding it down. You guys are holding it down for sure. For some reason, it seems like this month we had like quite a bump. Like, normally we don't get this many subscribers, but in the last like month or so, we've like really accelerated. We've really accelerated the amount of subscribers that are coming in here, and I think it's probably due to a lot of people refer their friends, and you guys, maybe YouTube is just rewarding us because you guys stick around on the stream. Like, you guys, most of you stick around for the whole entire stream, which is like insane. You guys are willing to sit here and watch an hour of me just blab about stocks. I mean, I have a great time. Don't get me wrong, but like, I mean, you guys are definitely dedicated. There's a lot of people here that are here every single day. I mean, FC, Jeff, Ray Lee, Hamed, JDM, Billy, Maureen, Linda, EZ. I mean, the list goes on and on. Like, for the people that have been watching, like, you guys are here every day, which is like, you dedicate 5 hours a week to this. I mean, that's a lot to ask. That's a lot to ask from a person, especially in this kind of day and age. So I don't take it lightly. I definitely think, definitely, it means a lot. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and supporting what we do. We make money, we lose money, and that's just the way it goes. It's trading is about, what was it? I read a tweet this morning from somebody. This guy, I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter. Let me pull it up here. This guy, where's my likes? Okay, this guy, I don't know if you guys know who this guy is. His name is Peter Brandt. He's a trader, and it kind of hit spot on. He tweeted this last night or yesterday, and this is exactly what I've been saying. Is his tweet says, if you want to know yourself, I mean really know yourself, the good, the bad, and ugly, just become a trader. You will discover character flaws you never knew existed. And that's what I've been saying for a long time, that like, no matter where you are in your trading career, or if you just started, or if you 2 years in, 5 years in, 10 years in, like, by trading, you find out more about yourself than you do like most other things, like outside of going to some accountability group or something like that. Like, we have a great time, and you get to know a lot about yourself. You get to know a lot about who you are and how you will react, because a lot of the things that happen in the market translates into like real life. When there's a problem, how do you handle it? If things are going your way, how do you handle it? If you made a lot of money that day, how do you handle it? If you have little money, if your account dwindles down to $100, $200, how do you move forward? And a lot of that kind of translates into real life. So I definitely appreciate you guys. But I won't take up too much of your time. Let's talk about the earnings. Let's talk about the earnings coming up. Okay, so let's see if you guys can see this. We'll go in a little bit here. Whoa. Okay. Linda, welcome. Linda, I just name dropped you. Marine, appreciate you. Okay, so this is earnings this week. And this is not all of them. These are like most anticipated or like notable earnings. This is not everybody. I mean, there's like 300, 400 companies reporting earnings this week. Mike Matthews, what's going on? I think Apple is reversing So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. The main ones that I like to look at are stocks that I mostly trade. You know, this morning Caterpillar tanked. They missed earnings, even though on Caterpillar, if we look up Cat here, you know, there was the initial sell-off. Obviously, we had a pretty powerful sell-off. It went from 138 after hours all the way down to 123, and it closed at 124. So, you know, it seemed to bottom out once it opened. It was like 128 to like 124. So really only $4 move intraday. So it was relatively boring. You know, obviously if you were playing this, you would have to swing trade it. Looking at these here on Cat. It did go beyond the expected move, and as you can see, these are up over 100%, 300%, 60, you know, 370%, 292%. So, you know, when it goes beyond the expected move, I did look it up. The expected move was $7 or $8, and it moved $12. So when you go beyond the expected move, most times, even when most times, I'm not gonna say every time, but most times, even with Theta and Ivy Crush, you'll make more money because the market was underpricing the move. Not really too interesting tonight. I mean, we don't really care. Whirlpool, I mean, they're a pretty big company, but they don't really trade. You know, most likely looking at tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, into things that we trade. So, you know, Verizon, Apple, AMD, and the one thing that was interesting about AMD today, AMD went down quite a bit due to Nvidia. Nvidia went way down to down here. They reported lower guidance for 2019, and that's why they tanked so much. And obviously, that really impacted AMD. AMD went from, it closed at almost 22, and you know, we opened at 2030, and AMD. However, if you're looking at this chart here, I mean, AMD is still kind of trending up, even though it's on the bottom side, and it's really been trading sideways the last. I mean, yes, we've had some extreme volatility. We've had some volatility up in here. We went from 21 down to like 18, but relatively it's been kind of boring. You know, you're probably looking for more of a day trade on this. AMD, I mean, at this point, it's hard to say if they're going to beat earnings and if that's going to have a great impact. I mean, they've been kind of moving sideways here, you know, for a while. After the sell-off here in October, you know, it hit 16 a couple times, but really has been between like 20 and 22 for a while. So it hasn't been that exciting of a stock. Day trading has been pretty good for day traders because it's gapped down and then it's ripped up, or it's gapped up and ripped down. So for day trading, it's been particularly good. For swing trading, I would say not the greatest opportunity right now. Apple. Well, we can talk about Verizon actually. Verizon. I know a lot of people were talking about Verizon. AMD is a dead zone for options, David. Got my Cokes restocked over the weekend. Made a nice run to Costco before the blizzard. It's gonna be like -60 here on Wednesday, so it's gonna be bad. Verizon is tomorrow morning before open, so we're not sure what's gonna happen. We're gonna probably do a recap of, you know, I think what's going to be interesting. Let me know if this would be interesting to you, because this is kind of the first time that I'm doing something like this. Is going over the earnings for the week. Maybe Friday we should recap this chart here. Let me know if you guys think this is a good idea for Friday to recap this chart and see where it was before, and see what the price movement was, and see, you know, where the opportunities were or where they weren't. Not even 5 minutes here already with the plug. Yep. Mike, is that real Coke? Yeah, we got the real Coke here in the glass bottle. We got the carbonate. I don't know if you could read this. Carbonated. Here you go. Carbonated water, cane sugar. No high fructose. HO in Mexico. Can you explain how you trade pre and post earnings? Yes, I will. Yeah, long cost. So for Verizon, I mean, it could come back down here to support the expected move was $2. I mean, it's a $55 stock, so the market priced in $2 move here. If it moves beyond $2, so it's looking at like at 53 or 57. If it moves up to like 58, 60 range, definitely beyond the expected move. If it goes to like 52 or lower, definitely beyond the expected range there too. What do you think of a strangle for Verizon? If I'm looking at this, let me pull up Tastyworks so you guys can see a little better the option pricing. The interesting thing that I'd say on if you guys see here is the puts were up 130% today on Verizon. So if you just had puts on Verizon, I probably would have exited before earnings being up that much. But what are we looking at? Depending on if you're short or if you're long, the options are pretty much priced equally. However, the calls are a little bit more expensive than the puts, being at close at 55.07, and these are 97 cents. And then this is 55.50. If you wanted to do like a bearish strangle, I mean, I guess it depends if you're bearish or bullish on it. For me, I've been bearish on everything. But if you kind of take a look here, last earnings they went from 55 up to 56, so it only went up $1. It opened, but it did set up a nice move for the rest of the week. So that's why I like to trade after earnings, Billy, is because let's say it gaps up, it's only up $1, and if it goes up $1 and the expected move is $2, you're not going to make any money. You're most likely going to be losing money. Or you might make very little or break even if you're like right at the money. So that's why I would say sometimes it's very dangerous to hold through earnings, especially when it's something like that. So after earnings, when it's after earnings, Billy, I just move with momentum. Before earnings, I look for opportunity. So before earnings, like I look for a major opportunity, like on Tesla, we had an opportunity before earnings to buy some calls, and obviously we're currently down on that, so it's not working out so great. I was looking forward to a huge drop and then kind of a rip back up to like 310, 320, maybe even 330 range. And then if you're looking at Netflix last earnings, we had an opportunity to buy some calls quick on this huge drop days. We bought some calls and we made some quick money there. So that was beforehand. And then after earnings, I didn't trade it after earnings, but I pretty much, depending on the intraday moves, like let's say Netflix went way beyond the expected move, or the stock that I'm looking at goes way beyond the expected move, I'll move with the momentum. And then you'll definitely, like, even if it drops, like let's say the stock dropped, like let's say it dropped 10-20%, let's say that, but it looks like it was going to recover, like it looks like it's recovering, I'll hop on the recovery side and start trading it. Manny, thank you for the $5. What do you think of Cron? I'll take a look at it. So for let me finish up Verizon, and then we can look at Cron and CGC. But CGC looks like it's easy. CGC looks like it wants to make a run to 59. It's got some room to run. If I was looking at Verizon Strangle, I would probably, let's say you're bearish on it. Yeah, I mean it's definitely gonna be tough. I would probably let's see here, Verizon. Let's look at the chart, see where the resistance is. I would probably, if I was very bullish on it, I'd probably do something like this. And then if it reversed, chances are we could trigger 8. Maybe I would even do like 57 and a half or 57. I would probably buy the 57 strike and the 55 put. That way, if it does go down to like 52, 53, you'll be making some cash. And then hopefully, I doubt the only thing I think the bad part about this, let's say it comes back up to 57, which is outside of the expected move. As you can see here, this orange bar is saying it's at the expected move. Even if it comes up here, it's not going to be worth $1.20. Like, I'm not going to break even on this trade, so it won't be like a full loser, but you could easily lose. If it comes up to 57 and a half, you could definitely lose 50% on this trade still. So I think you wouldn't lose it all, but you would lose 50% of it. So this is very directional. This is a directional trade. But if it did go against you, you'd probably lose 50%. You wouldn't lose all of it, but you would definitely lose 50%. So you'd lose like $60 at least, maybe more, maybe 60%. It really depends where it opens up and where like if it opened up at 57 and you sold, you'd probably lose like 60%. But then if it started moving back up to like if it touches 58, if it touched 58, you'd probably break even or make like $20. But as you can see here, 58, you can't see there. 58 has been causing some troubles, so you'd want to get out. Like if it's making a run at 58, you'd probably want to get out, take what you could. Billy, yeah. So I buy in after the report comes out. So if Billy, I buy in. I'll buy in if there's an opportunity. But Billy, I'll buy in if they reported pre-market. And the market opens and I see an opportunity there, I'll buy it. If it's after hours, I'll go the next day. You know, Kron, Manny, let's get to Manny. Oh man, I didn't see this today. How much were? Oh man, yeah, market was definitely not expecting that. Went up $2. Now the only problem that I see about this trade right here is, yes, you had to be in this trade for it to work out. You can see these are up like 700%, 600%. You had to be in on it. It moved like almost $3. It moved $2.50. It made $2.50. But now look here. The expected move with less time is $2.25. So they're saying now the stock's going to move another $2, another 10%. So it's starting to price. The thing is, you got to be careful because it's starting to price in these moves. At a $2.25 move, they were probably expecting this stock to move like $1, maybe 75 cents this week. Probably more like $1, $1.25 based on the price action here. But these calls were up 700%. So the market didn't see this coming. As you guys know, there's no free market. There's no free money in the market. So like, after an event like this happens, if you weren't there before, they start pricing these in. If this moves up 10% again tomorrow, you're not going to make 500%, 600%. If it moves 20% tomorrow, there you go. You'll make the 500, 600%. But if it moves 10%, 12%, you're not gonna make these kind of percentages. They priced it in now. They priced in these moves for a down move and for an up move here. And they let's see here. Yeah. So you gotta be careful after massive moves like that. You gotta be careful because they don't like those. Understand, when you buy an option, somebody wrote that option to you. Somebody's holding that. Somebody sold that option to you, and whether it's a bank, a hedge fund, a robot, or whatever, they're looking to get that money back. They're hoping you go in hard now. Like, oh man, I just made 600%, 700%. I'm gonna go in with my gains. They're gonna try to take those from you. They're gonna try to take those from you. Just because like I've told you guys many times, like, when I lose, when I lose the battle, I don't want to lose the war. That's what the traders are. Like they may lose a trade here or there. They're not going to lose. They don't want to lose the war either. So that's what it is. Now what I was saying earlier in Discord was we got to be very careful this week because there's some heavy hitters. I mean, we got Apple, we got Amazon, we got Facebook, and then everybody else. I mean, we got McDonald's, but they're not going to tank the market. But we have major tech stocks, and what I was saying is SPY and SPX below 2,600. We gotta be careful. We did recover today a bit, but we closed down $20 on the day. We still recovered. It did hit 26.22 and then recovered about $20. We were down like 1.5% at one point today. But below 2600, you know, you got to be a little bit bearish here because that's where it cracked through, and we were having a bunch of troubles here. I'm a bit concerned on Apple. GE reporting this week. Let's see here. Is GE reporting this week? Boeing's reporting this week. One thing that I'm concerned about with Apple is last quarter was so bad. I mean, they were at these highs here. They're like, oh yeah, Apple first $1 trillion company and all this stuff, and so quickly how that changes to being a $1 trillion company to getting flushed down the toilet in like a matter of weeks. You know, like it's easy come, easy go. Like you gotta be careful. Like this is the same thing with like your trading accounts here. You know, you could have some awesome trades. I've seen it a lot of times. Like people like, hey, I made $5,000 a day. I made $2,000 a day. I made $3,000. Whatever the case is, and they literally lose it within a week or two. You know, they literally lose it within a week or two. And you know, they were touting, you know, Apple's the first $1 trillion company. They're gonna do this, and boss, we did. Hit the replay. We did check out AMD. Oh, we just got done with that. You know, last earnings it was like 220, and it came down to 209, and then that's when really things just kind of went south. I mean, just any up move, as you guys can see. I mean, this is a very steep drop. This screams overvalued all over it, and you know Warren Buffett's going to be pissed. Where if you know he's still up money, but Warren Buffett's going to be pissed that he's going to be losing some money here soon if Apple keeps performing this way. You know, the one thing that I don't think is fair to Apple is before we get to that, their iPhone numbers are most likely going to be down. They've been cut in production, and iPhone is like the #1 driver for Apple. People want to know. Wall Street wants Apple to sell a lot of iPhones because, you know, they make more money. Last quarter, Apple said we're not going to put in our sales figures for iPhones, and we're not going to break them down for you anymore because it doesn't look good, and they say it really doesn't really matter for our entire business. What Apple wants to do is kind of like what any other company does, is they want to say how much money we made this quarter, which they do, but they always used to break down how many iPhones were sold, how many iPads were sold, how many Apple Watches were sold, and that kind of thing. And they're going to stop breaking that down because they think that it's negatively impacting their price, which it is. However, I think that, you know, Wall Street's not focusing in on the cash. So Apple has always had a boatload of cash, and they're not doing anything with it. And also they're not innovating. They're not innovating anything. I mean, they haven't had anything new out. I mean, they have the iPhone XS and the iPhone X. That's honestly, it's just another phone. It's another iPhone at this point. I mean, how many years has the iPhone been out? Like 10 years now, 11 years. It's not that exciting yet anymore. I mean, every iPhone that I get, I do an iCloud restore. I got the same exact apps. Nothing. I text. I call people. I use email. But other than that, like in the past 5 years, Apple hasn't provided me a tool that makes my life any better. I mean, sure, Face ID is cool, Touch ID is cool, but outside of that, what has the iPhone done to improve my life? Not a whole lot. I mean, yes, it changed the world, but now 10 years, 11 years in, we're going in, 15 years, 20 years. What's going to happen? I mean, you got to do something here. You got to, and right now the stock price is reflecting that. We're back at 2017 levels here. Let's see here, and in this was 120, and I think when it was like 120 down here is when like Warren Buffett. Correct me if I'm wrong. Warren Buffett was down. What's his average? Like 100, something like that. And then he recently, maybe what, 6 months ago, 4 months ago, he averaged up. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say what like people like Warren Buffett's position is, because he could also be selling a lot of put contracts and stuff. He could be selling a lot of contracts too. It's hard to say what his actual position is. I mean, yes, he owns like what 3% of Apple or something like that, but I'm sure he does sell a lot of options too. I don't think he sells calls, but you know, he might take his dividend money and sell puts or something. I don't know, but you know, that's why it's dangerous to trade off of like, well, that's why it's dangerous to trade off like if Warren Buffett was invested in this, it should be a good investment. And that's not entirely true. Warren Buffett makes mistakes too. If you guys watch that HBO documentary of Warren Buffett, it goes over his whole life, the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, yes, he's an amazing investor. He's had a great run. I mean, dude's like 90, compound interest. He was not the smartest guy, but he used compound interest, and you know, he grew up in the time that America was on the up and up, and he used it to his advantage. Excuse me, choking a little bit here. So, you know, I'm a little bit, I'm not gonna say nervous, but I think that with earnings haven't being that strong, I know Trump tweeted. What did Trump tweet? He tweeted that earnings were like, you know, great. But really, only a couple people have reported like great earnings. Most of it have been kind of, you know, in the middle or way below expectations. I mean, Cat, IBM beat, Goldman Sachs beat, Bank of America beat, but a lot of other, you know, J.P. Morgan didn't beat. What was the other bank? Citi didn't beat. I feel like this earnings season hasn't been that great, and if Apple reports earnings that are just so terrible, which they could, you know, this Christmas, and you got to keep in mind this is the Christmas season too. How did Apple do during the Christmas? And if they didn't do well in Christmas, I mean, they're going to do poor the rest of the year. They're going to get beat up the rest of the year, which will bring opportunity for us. But just saying, like this could definitely be a $100 stock again. You know, if it can go from, you know, a lot of people say like, oh well, Apple's $200, it can't go down to $100. Well, it's almost halfway there. It went from 233, now it's at 156. You know, it hit 142. It's closer to $100 than it was back in here, of course, in October. But you know, you got to be careful about this, and that's what, you know, ignorant traders. That's what they were saying in like 1999 and 2000. Like they were just printing money, and eventually the printing stops, and we get in trouble. Like people get caught up in that. Like hopefully nobody here gets caught up in that, and kind of takes some lessons and learns from the experienced traders and maybe beginner traders who lost some money. Like losing money, you could easily, I mean, most of you guys know, losing money, you could easily lose money in the market. Same with Facebook. So Facebook, if we go into Facebook, Facebook has been on the struggle bus too. They can't, their chart's not as dramatic, but it's very slow and steady. The pops get faded. And in terms of Facebook, I mean, they're kind of in a similar position where they make money through advertising and they make profits through advertising, but they have a problem with I mean, when you have how many people they have signed up? Like 2 billion, 3 billion, something like that. 2 billion. I mean, when you have most of the first world countries sign up to Facebook, like where do you go from there? I mean, yes, you could make advertising more expensive, kind of like YouTube. You know, YouTube, you could back in the glory days, you could have paid pennies for advertising. Now on YouTube, it's more established. Google Ads more established. Google's more established. People were getting rich off of Google Ads because it was costing them pennies, and they were selling a product, and they were making a lot of money. Now you actually have to spend real money on Google and YouTube to actually generate sales. And Facebook, their ads are cheap. Instagram ads are cheap. They can make them more expensive, you know, but it's going to be tricky. After this earnings, Zuckerberg will ask to step down. No, man, I don't think so. Nobody wants to lose their founder, and if they do, like, if they do, let's say, kick Mark Zuckerberg out if they wanted to. I don't know if they can. I don't know. I know he has some sort of agreement with the shares where they can start doing that, but I don't know. I don't know how many shares he's sold. But I mean, nobody really wants to kick out their founder. You know, for Apple that ended up terribly, and then Steve Jobs had to come back. And Mark Zuckerberg, believe it or not, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg is the genius there. I mean, hate him. Mark Zuckerberg is an evil PR. Yeah, hate it or love it. I mean, he took a company from a dorm room or a garage, you know, his dorm room, to how many billions of dollars is Facebook worth? You know, what, 400 billion, 300 billion? It was 500 billion until they got price cut. So they're at probably what, 300 now. So you know, you gotta, you know, but if Apple and Facebook, I think the one stocks that I think will be okay. I think Microsoft will do well. I think Alibaba will do well. So we have Alibaba Wednesday before open. We have Facebook after. We got Boeing. I think that Alibaba will do well, but the problem is, as you guys can see with Alibaba here, the trade war has not been kind. So even though they've been making money, let's see here, do they beat here? So it's not telling me what they actually did. It's just telling me what the estimated. Okay, so even though, if you look at here, I mean, the earnings, the estimated one was 96 cents per share. The actual is $5.73 per share. You know, Alibaba, I don't know, it's not telling me if they beat here or not. But even though they beat earnings last couple quarters, Wall Street is punishing them because of the tariff war and the unknown between Trump and China and the U.S. and China. So they're also on the decline. A lot of these charts look the same. I mean, this chart looks more similar, not as dramatic, but more similar to Facebook. But they're entirely different businesses. Didn't Facebook change the way they evaluate profit at users versus actual profits? I don't know. I can't remember. I did sell my Facebook shares for over 100%, but I'm no longer a shareholder. You know, so you got to be, yeah. I think that Alibaba, but the thing is with Alibaba, like, you would say, okay, well, if Wall Street's going to punish them or the stock's going to go nowhere, you know, wouldn't selling on Iron Condor would be a good idea for earnings here? And I would say, yeah, I mean, probably would be a good idea, but you got to be careful. There's always, with earnings, there's always the unknown that it could be, you know, sometimes the perfect storm happens and we don't understand why it happens. Like, what if right before earnings, this could happen? And don't say it can't happen, because it definitely could happen. You know, tomorrow night, show you right here. So before open on Wednesday. So tomorrow night, Tuesday night, maybe Trump signs a deal with China and all this tariff stuff goes away. And it's probably not going to happen. But what if it does? And then before open, they report amazing earnings, and you're locked in an Iron Condor. Most likely, if that were to happen, I mean, this could easily pop to 170, 180 very easily. And your Iron Condor would be dead, you know. Boeing is, you know, a strong company. I don't know if you guys trade this. I trade it from time to time. I haven't in a while. But Boeing, like Caterpillar, is also impacted by the trade news as well. So, you know, you gotta be very careful about that. I mean, last time they came up here, they actually didn't move a lot, but then we dropped from like 361 down to 329 like a day. So it's kind of unknown right now. So that's why, like, I'm probably going to be looking at trading these afterwards. So I'm going to be very slow and low until after, and then I'll start adding in some more positions. Like today, I only did one position. I averaged down my position on PCG, and right now I have a Tesla position, but I'm looking for some of these to start reporting before I start adding some in here. Lockheed versus Boeing. and eBay. Yeah, Lockheed's on the decline too. I don't know when they report earnings here. LMT, January 29th. So they're reporting. They're reporting tomorrow. Were they on here? They weren't even on here. I don't know if Lockheed. Yeah, their options don't really trade that well. They don't really have much volume. But I think that Microsoft out of all the tech companies will probably do the best, just because their business is I think a lot stronger, a lot more resilient. Oh, GE this week. I think right now there's no trade in GE until after the report comes out, because I mean it's just in a holding period. Amazon. Let's talk about Amazon real quick, and then we'll get to some questions here. I don't want to hog up all the time here. Amazon definitely has been very two-sided in the selling off. You know, they said they reported good numbers for Christmas, but we'll really see. I think Amazon will probably be pretty strong, unless they start saying guidance is down. I mean, Amazon definitely made money, but it depends on if guidance was down. Like last quarter, estimated 377, and it was. The actual is 575, but yeah, we still sold off. Like even in a major market downturn or a major market event such as the selling offs and the downturns that we saw at the end of 2018, no matter how profitable the company is, it's gonna be subject to that sell off. Like even if Amazon, I mean, they reported great earnings and it sold off. It went from 1,800 down to 1,500 in 4 days. Dropped 300 points in 4 days. Like nobody is safe, and that's kind of where you have to start thinking: are these companies overvalued right now? Are these companies overvalued? And I think, my personal opinion. I mean, yes, I'm bullish on Amazon, but I think at these levels, I think it's too much. These went up too fast. I mean, Amazon literally went from $1,000 to $2,000 in a year and a half. I mean, it was insane. The stock doubled. Did the company do something that would double their market cap? Besides what they already do, you got to start at this point. You got to start asking yourself those kind of questions. How many Microsoft bullish before earnings? I am, but I'm not going to trade it. I'm not trading it until they put that report out. I mean, I like trading Microsoft, and Microsoft's one of my favorite stocks to trade. But I'm not looking to throw my money away either. UPS, you can actually be looking at UPS. UPS is also Thursday before open. The one thing that you want to take note is FedEx. FedEx last earnings totally bombed. It went from 180 down to like 160. I mean, they got cut apart. So you might want to take that knowledge. A lot of times if you're looking at earnings, you can look at how competitors stack up and trade that way. Like if you don't want to trade through earnings, but you want to take advantage, a lot of times what will happen is, let's say for this instance, you don't want to trade UPS because they have earnings, but you could trade FedEx, and FedEx will be impacted by how UPS does, and UPS was impacted how FedEx did when they reported earnings. It went from 89. Or if you want to trade earnings, you may just want to short UPS based on what FedEx did. A lot of times when the banks report, I trade a lot like that. Let's say JP Morgan is reporting earnings. I'll take a position like Bank of America or Goldman Sachs. Because you get cheaper options and you're not going to be prone to that Ivy crush that those other stocks are. I'm not saying that every time. You gotta check the pricing, but a lot of times you can trade the competitors, and they move based on how their competitors traded on the earnings, or what they did for earnings. McDonald's. Anyone trading McDonald's for earnings? McDonald's is last earnings really catapulted them up. From 168 to 190, just really took off there. And we've just been kind of sideways. It did sell off a little bit, but not. It didn't get hurt as bad as a lot of other stocks. Same day delivery, that's big, I guess. Now I get same day delivery, and I feel like I never had anything at all. I mean, I do same day delivery all the time, and really, I mean, it's great, but it comes at 9 o'clock at night though, which is almost worthless to me. So it's like, you know, on average, what's the most reoccurring type of trade you make? Spreads or nakeds? Right now, Buzz, I think strangles. I've been ranting for about 50 minutes or going through the earnings calendar for about 50 minutes. I want to leave it up some questions here. What do you guys got questions? We got about 10 minutes left in the stream. Type your comments below. If so far this video was of value to you, hit the like button. And I definitely want to thank you guys today. We reached 5,000 subscribers. I mean, thank you so much. I mean, that was great. But yeah, if you guys got questions, let's talk about it. Trump has it for China because they didn't want to make us bobblehead. Oh my gosh. You guys are ridiculous. Just going through these comments here. Square. Square earnings. When's Square earnings here? Square's been running hard though. Square's not till February 27th. So the one thing that I will say, so like as over the last couple weeks, we've been looking at Facebook and Apple, and we've been looking at like the downtrending patterns here. And this was definitely looking the same, but it kept making lower highs. See this high, and then we had this high here, and then we had this high up here. And what people were looking at, people were thinking that we were going to make a high up here at like 65, 66, and then kind of come back down and eventually make lowers maybe to like 45 or 50. But what happened was the opposite. Is we went up and we broke through this high. So as long as we're breaking previous highs, I mean, this is pretty bullish. Is CAT still bearish? Let's see, Mike, sell puts or buy puts? I think it's really risky after a day like today. Also with this many earnings coming up, is to sell puts. I mean, we have to be careful this week because there's so many companies that are going to report earnings that hold immense weight on the indices. Like they have, I mean, Apple, I mean, FANG is reporting. I mean, they control. If you guys have the time, look up how much of Apple is on the NASDAQ and S&P and stuff like that. And Apple weighs heavier than they actually did on alignment. Was it last summer for the tech stocks where they're going to weigh a little bit more heavy? So you could check out how much weight each stock has on the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Dow. So that way you can kind of calculate. That's why I'm not getting into anything crazy. And also, you guys probably noticed that SPY, like calls and puts, were off the chart because of these movements that we're going to have. CGC, and is CAT still bearish? Nathan, welcome. So CAT, the one thing that is interesting about CAT though is it could literally just chill here. You know, so you want to wait for CAT to move. I didn't trade CAT even though it went down a lot, and I'm glad that I didn't. And this is like I was telling Billy earlier, like trades that I make. I didn't trade this because literally outside of the move, if you didn't swing trade this, outside of the move on CAT, you literally let's look at this. It literally moved $4 and it was super choppy. Look, this is you may say, CAT moved $12 today. Why didn't you trade it? It's because intraday it moved very choppy until it broke to the downside. It went from 125 down to 123, but really didn't look like that great a trade. And then it came back to 124. Like it didn't look that great a trade for me. Now, if we open, it would have been more interesting if, like, let's say CAT opened at like 132, 130 and dropped to like 125 and during the day, then it would have been more interesting. But that's why I didn't trade it. Apple's probably like 3 to 4% of the SP. CGC, we did look at it briefly, easy, but I'll do it one more time for you. CGC looking like it wants to make a run. It got upgraded last week. Or was it last Thursday? And is making a run up to 59. I don't know. Does anybody know why what hit 59 and dropped? Other than that, maybe it was overvalued. I don't know if anything came down I don't know why. I don't know why it dropped from here other than going from having a crazy run, you know. But I was like, I'm kind of new here, but if you're newer than me, you stumbled upon the best trading community in the world. Man, I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Lane, thank you. I don't know. I don't watch other trading channels, but I just talk about what I like to talk about. Canada legalization. But Hamed, why did it sell off though? Do you know why it sold off? Mark, what up? Do you know why? Hamed, do you know why it sold off though? Even though, I mean, yeah, we had the legalization, but it was higher back in October. I mean, this is just when the market started selling off, and then stock market sells. So let's see here. When did we start selling off here? 10.25, and CGC 10.17, 10.15, 10.17. Let's see here. Yeah, so the stock market, I think it was just due to the selling off. It just started us off like crazy. Oh, they didn't have enough product to sell. I've hooked up Mike. Thank you, Mike Matthews, says he hooked up over a dozen people to this channel. Man, you guys are holding it down. Let's see here. Someone asked Boss Chevron or eBay. Boss.com. eBay did gap up. I did trade this. I did trade the put side of it. But I mean, this chart. I mean, this chart's pretty ugly. It's right here at like 34 or something. It needs to break through. Previously, it wanted to go up, and I made some money in the put side. But I mean, this is definitely some trouble territory. I mean, 46 down to 26. I mean, they're in trouble. eBay is in trouble. I mean, they've been meeting expectations, but at some point, the question is, are they going to be able to compete with eBay? I mean, Amazon and what they do, and do people like the auction format? And I know that eBay try to innovate and try to add some of Amazon's features into there, like the shipping and verify people. And I mean, eBay is still a great platform. They still make money, but I'm not convinced that the selling is done. I mean, we could still go lower. We could still go lower. I mean, a couple of years ago it was like 20, went to 46, and I think these runs were just overdone. 2017, these runs were way overdone. Like I'm not going to call it a bubble, but it's crazy. Nick, you're very aware. What kind of supplements or diet do you have that keeps the awareness and you were able to multitask? My diet is unfortunately terrible, man. Like my diet, I actually got to get that in line. Like I'm dad bod for real, bro. Like I definitely gotta do something. I gotta do something about it. I just glance at the chat while I'm talking to see what you guys are talking about while I'm talking. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but that's how I have multiple monitors up right now, and I look at everything. Richard, what's up, man? Glad you're here. Alex, yeah, we talked about Verizon, so hit the replay. Yeah, I mean, my diets are terrible. I mean, Chick-fil-A, unfortunately, because of my time schedule, I eat a lot of fast food, and it's just, you know. Will NVIDIA go to 110? Yeah, NVIDIA was a stock that I was looking at. I didn't trade it today, you know, and this is another stock. I said this before, but NVIDIA got caught up in the whole Bitcoin hype, and they're now paying for it. You know. So, you know, I definitely think NVIDIA is overvalued. They went from 24 to 292. If you guys can see this, 24 to 292. I mean, it's just insane. Whoa, too big. So, anyways, we're coming up on an hour here. We'll be talking a lot about earnings. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with these trades. If this video was of value to you, hit the like button. I'm going to sign off. I got to do some more snow blowing. You know, definitely appreciate everyone here. Thank you so much for making this channel 5,000 subscribers. Really appreciate you guys. Manny, thanks again for the $5. Really appreciate you guys. You know, thank you. Stay green. Stay safe. Stay green. It's always us first heard. Have a great one.